Session number 6, the psychological core, attitude formation. I would like that you read carefully the case of Madonna and answer the following questions. What do you associate with Madonna? What sources influenced your attitude? What are your feelings about Madonna? What are your beliefs about Madonna? And what is your behavioral outcome towards Madonna? When we talk about attitudes, we have to look back at the information processing model, knowing that actually stimuli, by selection and elimination, transform to information, interpretation and perception, transform to beliefs, plus the attitudes, meaning likes and dislikes, forms the choice of the consumer. Attitudes guide our thoughts. They have actually a cognitive function, belief. Attitudes influence our feelings. This is the affective function. And last but not least, attitudes can affect our behavior, the so-called conative function, predisposition to act. Please look closely to the tri-component attitude model. When we talk about the affective component, the consumer feelings about a brand, outlet, product, action, etc., flowing from beliefs. Conation component, consumers' intention to act positively or negatively or even neutrally toward a brand, outlet, product, action, etc., that is based on his or her affective component stance. Last but not least, it's the cognitive component, the consumer's beliefs about a brand, outlet, product, action, etc., that is based on personal knowledge, actual experience, the knowledge of experience of others, or perception. Attitudes in general are overall evaluations that express how much we like or dislike an object or an action. Attitudes are learned, and they tend to persist over time. Attitudes reflect the overall evaluation of how much we like the concept based on the set of association linked to it. Consumers tend to think in schemes. As we have schemes for brands, products, ads, people, activities, countries, and so on, we also have attitudes towards brands, product categories, ads, people, countries, types of stores, and universities. Let's look closely to the multi-attribute attitude model. Attitude models that examine the composition of consumers' attitudes in terms of selected product attributes or beliefs. We actually divide the multi-attribute attitude model into 3 different kinds. The attitude toward the object model, which actually is the attitude and function of evaluation of product-specific beliefs and evaluation, useful to measure attitudes towards brand. A brand can be, I like it is fun, it is great, I like it very much. Attitude toward behavioral model is the attitude toward with respect to an object rather than the attitude toward the object itself. Correspond closely to actual behavior. Here actually demographic, purchase reference, benefit perception and lifestyle are influence the attitude toward online shopping, which actually gives you at the end a positive or negative online shopping rate. The theory of reasoned action model is the 3rd type of those models. Includes cognitive, affective, and conative components we already heard. Includes subjective norms in addition to attitudes. The theory of reasoned action model is actually shown here. Please have a closer look. The attitude toward the ad model is actually a model that proposes that a consumer forms various feelings and judgments as the result of exposure to an advertisement, which in turn affects the consumer's attitude toward the ad and attitude toward the brand. The attitude toward the ad model is actually shown here. Please have a closer look. United Colors of Benetton is actually a very good example for this attitude toward the model. Attitude toward the ad model. Please have a closer look and remember the ads you know from United Colors of Benetton. Please read carefully now the case of Zara fast fashion. And please answer the following questions. While answering those questions, we are trying to profile the customer of Zara. Who are the Zara customers? Please think about all the characteristics and information you know from marketing. Think about consumer diversity, age, gender, and culture. How do Zara customers think? Think about their psychographics, values, needs, goals, personalities, lifestyle, and perceived risk. And third question, how Zara forms the attitude toward their customers. Information process model, think about exposure, attention, perception, and all the other things you already heard in consumer behavior. To conclude, here is the summary. Consumer behavior is actually psychology of marketing. The study of consumers help firms and organizations improve their marketing strategies by understanding issues such as the psychology of how consumers think, feel, reason, and select between different alternatives. It's the psychology of how the consumer is influenced by his or her environment. And it's the behavior of consumer while shopping or making other marketing decisions. It's about the limitation in consumer knowledge or information processing abilities influence decision and marketing outcome. It's about how consumer motivation and decision strategy differ between products that differ in their level of importance or interest that they entail for the consumer, and how marketers can adapt and improve their marketing campaigns and marketing strategies to more efficiently reach the customer. To conclude my consumer behavior slides, here is again a definition. The study of individuals, groups, or organizations and the processes they use to select, secure, use, and dispose of product, services, experience, or ideas to satisfy needs and the impacts that these processes have on the consumer and society. After reading and listening to my presentation, I hope that you actually had the following take-home values. Apply psychological frameworks to understand and predict consumer behavior. Use consumer behavior principles to understand the basis of effective and ineffective advertising and marketing communication. Critically analyze the use of principles of persuasion in marketing and advertising contexts. And last but not least, identify ethical concerns in marketing communication and understand their psychological implications. Thank you for your attention.